Assalamu alaikum readers, I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back to Raising Readers. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the previous video where we had our special guest, Sister Aisha Naim Beg, and she asked you one question. What are the ways that are we thankful to Allah? And the answer is, we thank Allah by thanking Him when we eat, when we buy something, and when we have fun in life. So today we'll be reading Bismillah by Uthman Hutchinson. Let's get started. Bismillah. Mom! Jamal ran into the house. Mom, can I eat at Don's house? Jamal's mother was sitting in the living room. Did his mother ask you? She asked. Yes, said Jamal. She asked me to come for lunch. What are they having? Asked his mother. They are not having pork, said Jamal. They know I can't eat that. They're having tuna fish. All right, said Mrs. Said. Yay, said Jamal. He was already running to the door. I will pick you up from there in half an hour, called his mother. We have to go to the store. Jamal raced around the side of his house. He went into the Wilsons' backyard and past their house. Then he went along Don's house and up onto the front porch. He knocked at the door. Come on in, called Don. He knew it. It was Jamal. Jamal went back to the kitchen. It's all right, he said. I can't eat here. Good, said Don's mother. My mother will pick me up in half an hour. Okay, said Don's mother. We would be better get going then. She was making lunch on the counter. Don was sitting at the table looking at a book. Look at this, he said to Jamal. Jamal sat down. The book was about whales. There was a picture of a ship with a big whale beside it. Don, please get down the potato chips, said his mother. Don got up and used a chair to reach them. Jamal looked at the book. There, said Don's mother. She put 2 plates on the table. She put 2 glasses of milk down too. Thank you, said Jamal. Then he said, Bismillah, and started to eat. We have cake for dessert, said Don's mother. Oh boy, said Don. He still had the book open on the table. Both boys were looking at it and eating. Put the book away while you eat, said Don's mother. Don put the book away, and the boys began to talk about whales. When the boys were done eating, they put their plates in the sink. Don's mother was cutting the cake. She put 2 pieces on 2 plates. Just then, the doorbell rang. Don's mother left the plates and went into the hall. Oh, come on in, Miriam, she said. It was Jamal's mother at the door. I came a little early to have a chat, said Jamal's mother. Would you like some cake? Asked Don's mother. No, thank you, said Jamal's mother. I just came to talk. The boys are almost done, said Don's mother. She put the plates of cake on the table for them. Jamal picked up his fork and said, Bismillah. He began to eat. What's that? Asked Don. What's what? Said Jamal. What does that mean? Said Don. You always say that when you eat. Oh, said Jamal. He thought for a second. It means, now I can eat. It's Arabic. Then he went back to his cake. Soon the boys were done. Jamal thanked Don's mother for lunch. Then he and his mother left. They got into the car and drove away to the store. I heard what you told Don, said Mrs. Said. Do you think Bismillah means that? Sure, said Jamal. We say it when we eat. I also say it when I start the car, said Mrs. Said. Yes, said Jamal. That's true. Now Jamal was not so sure what the word meant. What does Alhamdulillah mean? Asked Mrs. Said. That's easy, said Jamal. It means like, yay! Do you know what Astaghfirullah means? I think so, said Jamal, but he was not sure. His answers seemed a little wrong. It means, I'm sorry, he said. No, it means bad boy. Mrs. Said laughed. You're almost right, she said. I think you need a little help with your Arabic. We will talk about the words later when we get home. Later that day, Mr. and Mrs. Said talked in the house. We must tell him what these words mean, said Mrs. Said. He uses them, but he is mixed up about them. Jamal said Astaghfirullah was bad boy. Mr. Said laughed. It's our fault, he said. We say Astaghfirullah to him like that sometimes. It's our mistake. I will talk to him now. He went to find Jamal. He looked upstairs. He looked downstairs. Then he looked outside. Jamal was in the backyard. He was sitting in the swing. Will you give me a push? Jamal asked his father. Sure, said Mr. Said. He went behind Jamal. He pulled him back and gave him a big push. When he did that, he said, BISMILLAH. After one more push, he went in front of Jamal. Jamal was swinging high. Do you know why I said Bismillah? Asked Mr. Said. We say it when we start something, said Jamal. That's right, said Mr. Said. It doesn't mean I can eat, does it? No, said Jamal. It means I begin. You're almost right, said Mr. Said. It means in the name of Allah. Muslims say it when we start anything. It gives us Allah's help in what we do. I know that, said Jamal. Yes, you do, said Mr. Said, but you must remember when you say it. He went back behind Jamal and gave him a push. Then he came in front again. When you break something, what do you say? Asked Mr. Said. Astaghfirullah, said Jamal. Do you know what it means? Asked Mr. Said. It means I'm sorry, doesn't it? Asked Jamal. Yes, said Mr. Said. It's like I am sorry to Allah. It's like saying I'm sorry to Allah. It means Allah forgive me. It's for when you do something wrong. That's right, said Jamal. I knew that too. It doesn't mean bad boy, does it? No, said Jamal. But sometimes you and Mama use it like that. I know, said Mr. Said. When we do that, it's our mistake, and you can remind us. That was a new thought. Jamal's mom and dad could make a mistake. Jamal could help them. That was a big idea to take in. Mr. Said smiled. And what do you say when you get the right answer? I say, Alhamdulillah, said Jamal. Good, said Mr. Said. What does that mean? Jamal thought for a long time. He wanted to get this answer right. He thought for so long that the swing almost stopped. It means all praise to Allah. Alhamdulillah, said Mr. Said. That's right. And we say it when something good happens, added Jamal. He was proud that he knew the answer. The swing had stopped now. Mr. Said stood smiling at Jamal. I tell you what, said Mr. Said. What? Asked Jamal. I will make a deal with you, said Mr. Said. Your mom and I will remind you if you remind us. Is that a deal? Sure, said Jamal. Mr. Said put out his hand and they shook on the deal. Jamal felt very grown up. Let's go inside and get ready for the prayer, said Mr. Said. Okay, said Jamal. That's reminding, isn't it? Yes, said Mr. Said. It's another kind of reminder. And I can remind you sometimes too, said Jamal. Yes, said Mr. Said. You can. Later at dinner, Mr. Said asked Jamal to do something. He asked Jamal to say Bismillah to start the meal. Jamal felt grown up and smart too. When everyone was ready, Jamal raised his fork. Bismillah, Jamal said, in the name of Allah. That night, Jamal's food tasted extra good. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed reading this book. Now, I have one question for you to think about. What does Alhamdulillah, Bismillah, and Astaghfirullah mean? Think about it and I will reveal the answer in the next video. Thank you for watching. مع السلامة.